Angela Davis quotes, racism in the first place is used as a weapon by the wealthy to use profit to take down profits that they bring in by paying black workers less for their work. Yeah, I mean that economics is the key. When people try to say that class or economics is a they're trying to sugarcoat and whitewash the fact of how they've used institutionalized systematic racism. They're trying to justify when they build prisons. They're trying to justify why they want to keep you in a particulars and don't want to have you advance psychologically, spiritually. It's a play within the system. You built it off the misery, off the trepidation, the negativity. And then when you get called out to have to open up your books, you go penny pinch. You go, well, I can't find it. I can't do that. Angela Davis was a member of the Black Panther Party, activist, a professor, a teacher, a scholar. And she broke down how racism financially is all tied together. When people say, well, economics, well, how do you create wealth? How do you get privilege? Because of the benefits off the backs of those who had to be oppressed. You know, it's not rocket scientists, but for some people, you have to explain it in terms that they are have to, it's like this is why it comes to this. It's not just on these particulars. There are other aspects to it. There are other channels to it. There are other ways and views, connotations, and this is how it's come to be. You know, and if you explain it in a way that it's done fundamentally, they can't. Well, they can always act. You do get that ignore and that ignorance. That ignorance is bliss, and that half-hearted, like I really didn't get it, and all that. You know how the acting goes, but it is obviously all geared into it. In other words, the country never shared its wealth with black folks. Profit off the pain and the misery, institutionalized and used all the laws, etc., but never has given back crumbs to the bottom of the dollar. Unless, of course, you're an entertainer and you get them happy, and then they will act like they really love you because that is the facade. However, just to be Joe Blow in certain situations, not is the case. You know, the proof is in the pudding. And there's a difference between what, like I always say, what you tolerate and what you acknowledge. You tolerate because the money and you kind of nod your head. You acknowledge when you say that I respect you, man to man, woman to woman, soul to soul. There's a big difference. Financials is huge because, again, privilege to see things into fruition. And that is the root of all evil. That dollar is what makes them look at things, not because of, that's the status. And if you took that away, you don't have much left. That's the fact. And a lot of times that's what it comes down to. They use that money to disenfranchise and to keep you on desperate to need. Use that against you and as a weapon, and that's what has been used. If you think about it, you settle reparations and you settle 40 acres and the mules and you settled up the balance, you'd have to share. Do you realize how powerful the country would be if that was the case and you had to come together? And you had to break that bread together, and and all that's going on, it wouldn't be so one-sided, but it's been a one-sided affair. But she brought up a very strong point. Please like, subscribe, work on thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear, watch out for another. Share it if you like. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm on one time. Peace.